Drugstore week. I'm so excited about this series and I hope that you guys saw yesterday's video, which was a drugstore haul. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions on all of the products I spoke about in that video, so it will be linked in the top line of this description box so that you can go and watch that first and then come back to this so that you can see what I think of all the products. So today I'm just going to be chucking everything on my face. Well, actually it's already on my face, so you get to see my thoughts on all of the products, my first thoughts, like opening it up. I haven't used any of these products before, so it is a proper first impressions of everything that I bought. And if you guys want to see how I got this look and what I thought of all the products, things that will definitely be added to my makeup table and things that are definitely going to go into the bin, then keep on watching. So I thought I would start this first impressions a little bit differently, and I'm actually going to go in with eyes first because I'm not too sure how this is going to fit. I don't know if there's any fall down, so I thought it would be best to start with eyes and then move on to the rest of my face. So this is the NYX Warm Neutrals Ultimate Palette, and I'm actually flipping excited to try this. You should have seen this in the haul yesterday, and I don't think I'm going to go too hectic on the eyes today because I'm going to do a swatch demo review and in-depth look at this palette later on in this week, so I'm not going to do anything too hectic because in that video I'll do something a little bit more bold with the eyes and kind of put all of the shadows to the test. But today I'm just going to do something a little bit more neutral, but I will try and use as many shadows as possible because these are honestly so beautiful. I'm going to use the eyeshadow primer that I got. So this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer, and it's got kind of like the squeezy tube, which is nice because it means that I can get every last bit of this out. This is kind of a fleshy color, well, a light kind of beige color, and it seems creamy. I'm just going to apply this all over the lid. Okay, so with that lid primer on, it feels really good. Doesn't feel excessively tacky, but it does feel like it could have some grip to it. So I'm hoping that that'll help with the eyeshadow. And it's blended really nicely. It wasn't a pain to kind of move around. It actually blended in really nice with my skin. And I can't see it at all. It's kind of blended out to be sort of transparent. I'm going to set the eyeshadow primer with one of the shadows in this palette. I'm going to go in with that shadow over there. I'm going to set all over from the lash line to the brow bone, just that the shadows can blend nicely. For the crease, I'm going to go in with this kind of caramelly tan shade that I spoke about yesterday that I'm obsessed with. And as I can see right now, there's quite a lot of chalkiness in the pan. We'll kind of see if that happens on my eyes as well. So I have tried as much as I can to kind of build up that shade in the crease, and it's just not really going anywhere. This is kind of as dark as I think it's going to get, and I have done this a couple of times. I haven't blended anything out. I've just been trying to apply this color and make it as dark as possible, kind of get as much pigment from this, and I think this is just how it's going to be. So I'm just going to blend out the edges, and then I'm going to go in with a darker shade just to deepen the crease a little bit more because I want something that's kind of blown out. I am going to try this like deep orange, like burnt kind of orange brownie shade at the bottom over there and try and deepen up the crease a little bit more, but I'm not going for a hectic look, so I don't want to do too much, but I do want a very warm eye. That's a little bit better. Okay, so I know I look insane because I basically only have eyes going on and I look like a little bit crazy. But I've definitely been able to work up more pigment, which is exactly what I wanted. And now to get a little bit more shimmer on the eyes, I'm going to use a mixture of that shade and that shade. I'm going to wet my brush. Sorry about the vacuum cleaner. Apparently it's cleaning day today because I think it's necessary to do that if I want a little bit more going on. Ooh, that looks beautiful. Oh my freaking word. How pretty is that? I need to get this mirror closer. It's such a pain that this doesn't have a mirror. It really needs one. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it so much. These shimmer shadows with a wet brush, amazing. Literally amazing. Now I'm just going to deepen the outer corners ever so slightly because, as I said, I want to do something a little bit more bold tomorrow, so I don't want to go too far today, but I think I'm going to take this kind of purpley chocolatey brown, teeny tiny bit of it, and just pop that on the outer corner. For some liner and definition on my lash line, like the upper lash line, I'm going to use an old favorite. This is the Essence Kajal Pencil in Teddy, and this is going to be in the dupes video, so definitely look out for that this week. I'm just going to smudge this onto my upper lash line, and then I'll blend it out a little bit with a darker brown shadow from that NYX palette. For mascara, I'm going to try out this Essence Volume Stylist Curl and Hold one that I spoke about in yesterday's video, and it's got a very interesting wand. It's like extremely flat, like there's actually nothing going on this side. I don't know if you can see that. There's nothing happening on this side. It's a little bit curved over there, and it's got lots of kind of like spiky bristles. So let me just try this and see if I can get like really voluminous kind of lengthy lashes, because I need all the help I can get in the lash department. So with the mascara, I think that definitely does a lot in the volume department, which is what this does boast. It's a volume stylist mascara. It doesn't do much in the length department, so if you have really long lashes to begin with, this is probably going to be great for you, but I definitely need a little bit more in the lash department. I'm going to leave it where it is just because this is the first impressions. We just get to try it out. And finally, I get to move on to my face. So this is a product I've used before. I already love it. I've spoken about it on the blog and everywhere else. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine Beautifying Primer. This is a hydrating, kind of like glow-inducing primer, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Definitely like glow-inducing, makes me look like I have a pearl for a face. Foundation. I'm really excited to try this Rimmel Matte Perfection one, and I have this in the shade 201 Classic Beige. I'm gonna try and do this two different ways. So maybe I'll do one half of my face with the brush and the other half with my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. And I'm going to start with the brush. So I've done a full pump for half my face. I don't know if that's going to be a little bit too much. This is the Real Techniques buffing brush. And I'm going to start on the center of my face. This seems to be a good shade. A little bit pinky. Definitely scented, but not badly. Like it's not like a horrible smell. I actually quite like it. This is definitely more pinky than I usually go for. I like more of like a yellow toned foundation, and this is more on the pink side, but I can make it work with like contouring and with bronzer and stuff. But in terms of coverage, I like kind of how luminous it is on this side. So aside from the fact that this is not my perfect shade, like it's a little more pinky than I'd usually go, I like the finish of the foundation on this side that I've used the buffing brush, and I've gotten quite a good amount of coverage, like maybe medium coverage. You can definitely build it up. I can try and build it up a little bit more on my cheek over there, literally the tiniest amount on the brush, and I'm actually just going to press it in instead of using a buffing motion. I've done a good job of covering my rosy cheeks, a really good job actually, as well as the blemishes that I had over there. Those are mostly covered. Again, I've used a full pump. It's probably going to be too much, but the Real Techniques sponge does kind of soak up quite a lot of product, so let's see. Okay, so looking at both sides, the brush side definitely has more coverage, and I quite like the brush side actually. Like it looks a little bit more foundation-y and like polished. But if you want a little bit less coverage, you can use like a Miracle Complexion Sponge, and if you want a little bit more dewiness and glow to come through, then you can use a makeup sponge like this. I am actually really into this foundation. It is definitely more coverage than I would go for on a day-to-day basis, but if I want to do something in the evening but I still want like a luminous glow and a healthy look to my skin, I would use something like this because it's doing a really good job of covering up any blemishes I have. And you can still kind of see my freckles on the bridge of my nose, but they're not completely gone. My cheeks, I think the redness is covered up really, really well. So this is a solid medium coverage foundation, and I like it a lot. Actually, I really like this. Now for concealer, I'm gonna use this NYX Scotch Covered Concealer. This is waterproof, and I have this in the shade Light. I'm not sure about the color because obviously I bought this online, so we'll be seeing together what this is like. I'm actually just gonna use my finger and just, oh, this is very kind of like, can you see this? Can you see that? It's like kind of a moussey texture. That is interesting. Like, you know, when you whip cream and then it has to be like soft peak, that's kind of what's going on here. Very, very interesting. Very different texture. Well, here goes. Let me apply it, and then I still have quite a bit on my finger actually, so you definitely don't need a lot of product. It has a good amount of coverage though. I can barely see my dark circles. That's really, really good. Wow. Let's see up close. Whoa, that is light. This concealer is extremely light and also very thick, almost very sticky and tacky feeling. It's great at covering dark circles. So for those of you who do that like heavy highlight contour vibe on a day-to-day basis, you're probably gonna love a concealer like this. It is very high coverage. You can barely see my dark circles. Is that just me? I look white underneath my eyes. Oh my flip, that's light. Again, we're just gonna go with it and see what happens. I do need to set this because I can just imagine that it's going to crease in a second on my eyes. Even though it's very thick and almost like moussey, I think it will definitely crease. So I'm going to set that using one of the shades from this NYX Contour and Highlight palette. They seem very shaky in here. I think I'm actually going to use the yellow shade, and hopefully that will help this color underneath my eyes. Now we are going to try out these contour shades. I think I'm actually going to go for this very cool tone shade over here. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like it a lot. I really like this. I absolutely love this contour shade. I think it is so beautiful. I also don't look muddy or weird. It definitely does need a bronzer because now this lightness underneath the eyes is screaming at me. I'm gonna use this very warm bronzer on the left-hand side. I really like this color. Just to kind of warm up my face a little bit more. I need it with this contouring now. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, I like that so much. I am obsessed with these. I love the bronzer and the contour shades in this palette. I don't know if it looks more hectic in that viewfinder over there, but in person, woo, looks wonderful. My face is honestly screaming for blush right now, and this is another Essence Silky Touch blush. I love this. This has a little bit more of like an iridescence running through it, and I'm gonna go with this Silky Touch one from Essence. My eyes look so bare without shadow underneath. I am gonna go in with this NYX Warm Neutrals palette again. Things are looking so much better now that I have some shadow on the lower lash line. And I thought about using that Essence mascara on my lower lash line, but I know I'm just gonna smudge everything up. So I'm gonna use something from my collection, and this is the Revlon Ultimate All-in-One mascara. It has a tiny little wand, look at that, which is perfect for the lower lash line. Whew. That mascara is wonderful. I don't know why I didn't like this initially, but it is so good. It literally got every single tiny little lash underneath my eyes. I've never seen my bottom lashes look this kind of like, whoa. So for brows, I'm using something that I already love. It's not a first impressions, but it's also from the drugstore, so I can give you a little review on it. This is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. I love this. I've been using it for months and months. This is my second pencil. I have these in my kit. I honestly think that they are so freaking good. I use them on a day-to-day basis, and I didn't want my brows to be screwed up. So you guys would have seen this brow pencil in my June favorites. But if you want to see a little bit more of an in-depth review, I can put something on the blog. I think I may have already written about this, but I can maybe do a list of drugstore brow pencils or brow products that I love, because my current brow routine is 2 drugstore products. Just to highlight the brow bone, I'm going to use the lightest shade in this palette. Highlighter, I picked up this NYX Bright Ideas kind of like chubby stick, and this is in the shade Chardonnay Shimmers. I did swatch this on my hand in store, but the way I like to use these kind of highlighter sticks is just rub a little bit of the product onto my ring finger and then apply it to my cheekbones, because sometimes these kind of stick products can move foundation or blush or whatever underneath. It's kind of creamy, but not hectically. Definitely a good highlight there. So I quite like that, but I do want to intensify it a little bit more because this look is very over the top. It's just kind of gone there. And I have this Essence Light Up Your Face, that's cute, Light Up Your Face Luminizer palette, and it has 3 different highlighter shades. I don't think any of them are overly pigmented or highlightery, but I'm just going to dip it into that one and the center one. Just mix a little bit of those and see what I can get. Oh, that's a bit more than I was expecting. It's actually quite, it's like a white icy shade. Oh my word. I underestimated that. Well, this look has taken a very bold turn. All I have left is lips, and then we've got to set everything. This is the NYX Intense Butter Gloss in the shade Tres Leash, and I'm excited to try this. I hope it's a good shade. Let's see. So I like this Intense Butter Gloss texture and the smell, but I think I'm going to go to an old favorite rather, because I don't want something this pinky. I want something a little bit more like a terracotta peach, and it's another NYX product. So if you know what I'm talking about, then pause the video and comment down below with the product that you think I'm going to put on my lips now. If you guessed that I'm going to use my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Stockholm, you got it right. This is a trusty favorite. I love this shade. I always go back to it. It's just so beautiful. And it feels amazing on my lips as well. So good. Okay, I'm going to set my face using the NYX Dewy Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. I have high hopes for this, so let's see. Ooh, it's very alcohol-y. Wow. That's quite a hectic spritz. It's got something in it. This smells heavy, heavy, heavy of alcohol, which is my first issue with it. And then also, is it just me? Is this spritz weird? Like, it literally like hit me in the face. It's very forceful. So, ooh, that is something. Okay, so first impressions on these products. I can't do anything about the concealer. It is obviously just too light. My only kind of really disappointing product was the concealer. I'm not sure about it. I think that's what I'm gonna say. I think if it was a different shade, I probably would have been happy with it or happier with it, but I'm not sure about the texture of it. It definitely does cover up dark circles, and there's no heavy creasing, but that is also to do with the NYX contour and highlight palette. I'm not sure about that kind of texture that it had. It was very thick. I think I have spoken about everything I need to. Yep. Awesome. Okay, cool. So I really hope that you guys have gotten something out of this video. I hope that you learned something. I hope that there was a little bit more product information, that you enjoyed seeing my first thoughts on all of these products, how they apply. And if you want to see more of these kinds of videos, then definitely let me know in the comments. And remember to subscribe so that you can get notifications every time I upload a new video. And also, there will be 4 more videos in Drugstore Week. No, 3 more videos. What are we on? Tuesday. There'll be 3 more videos in Drugstore Week, so make sure you subscribe so you get the notification. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, then make sure that you do that, because there's lots of content going up there as well. Comment on my pictures, interact with me. Also comment down below and let me know what you think of this video. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye bye.